For thousands of years, grains have been the backbone of civilizations. When you look closely, you find that not all grains behave the same inside the body. And once that fiber is gone, your body may digest it faster, which can raise blood sugar more quickly in many people. Are wheat and rice genuinely as good for your health as we've always believed?
This video is made for educational and informational purposes only.
You're sitting down for a regular meal. Maybe some rice, maybe a couple of chapatis, the same stuff you've eaten your whole life without thinking twice. These grains are part of your routine, part of your culture, part of your comfort. But here's a question that slips into your mind for the first time. Are wheat and rice genuinely as good for your health as we've always believed? Or have we just been following tradition without ever looking deeper? That curiosity is where this whole journey begins. For thousands of years, grains have been the backbone of civilizations. They helped humans settle, build communities, and survive tough climates. Rice fields shaped Asia, wheat fields shaped Europe and America, and together these grains shaped our plates. They became symbols of abundance, safety, normalcy. But as modern science started poking around inside food, something interesting happened. The story of healthy grains turned out to be a lot more complicated than we imagined. Suddenly, what we once assumed was harmless began to look like something we should understand better. When you look closely, you find that not all grains behave the same inside the body. A big part of the confusion today comes from the way our grains are processed. Take wheat, for example. Whole wheat in its natural form is rich in fiber, minerals, and B vitamins. But most people don't eat whole wheat daily. They eat refined wheat, white flour stripped of its fiber and nutrients. And once that fiber is gone, your body may digest it faster, which can raise blood sugar more quickly in many people. Some people feel bloated, sluggish, or tired after a wheat-heavy meal, though individual responses vary. Many never connect it to the grain. Add possible gluten sensitivity to the mix, mild or severe, and the story gets more complicated. If you've ever wondered why you feel strange after bread or roti, you're definitely not alone. Rice has its own story. Brown rice, the whole version, packs fiber and minerals like manganese, selenium, and magnesium. White rice, the kind most of us love, loses most of that goodness in the polishing process. Yes, it's often enriched, but because the fiber is gone, it can still cause faster blood sugar spikes. It's not bad, but it's not something your body handles slowly or calmly. And then there's the concern most people don't know about. Rice can absorb arsenic from the soil more easily than many other crops. Not enough to panic, but enough that rinsing and cooking rice with extra water is recommended. Still, for many families, rice is comfort, culture, and daily fuel, and it continues to be a staple. This is where curiosity naturally takes you beyond the familiar. What if there are grains that digest more easily, offer more nutrients, and don't cause those energy crashes? That's where ancient grains come into the picture, grains that existed long before modern farming methods. Among them, one tiny grain from Ethiopia has been stealing attention: teff. Teff is almost unbelievably small, think poppy seed small. Yet inside this tiny grain is a nutrient profile that makes nutritionists raise an eyebrow. It's naturally gluten-free, which already makes it attractive for people with gluten issues, but its real strength lies in what it carries: more calcium than wheat, more iron than most grains, a good amount of protein with lysine, which many grains lack, and both omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. And then there's the surprise: a little bit of vitamin C, which almost no other grain has. Combine this with its low glycemic index, and a question arises. Could this explain why communities eating lots of teff often shows steady energy and good metabolic markers? Though researchers say more clinical studies are needed. Scientists won't claim a direct cause without more research, but the nutritional logic is hard to ignore. Teff digests slowly, fuels steadily, and nourishes deeply. This discovery makes you look at your own plate differently. It doesn't mean you need to abandon wheat or rice, but it does open your eyes to how much variety is out there. And teff isn't alone. Quinoa brings complete protein. Kutu, buckwheat, is rich in antioxidants. Bajra and jawar are gentle on digestion and thrive in tough Indian climates. Barley supports gut health with beta-glucan, Oats keep you full longer. Each grain has a personality, a history, and a unique effect on the body. The more you mix and match, the more diverse your nutrition becomes.
The good news is, these grains aren't rare treasures anymore. You can find them across India today. You can walk into stores like Nature's Basket or local organic shops across India and find Teff flour sitting quietly on a shelf. You can step into a local Indian Kirana store or organic market and get the real deal. You can open Big Basket, Amazon India, or any online grocery app and order quinoa, millet, teff, or kutu with a few taps.
As long as you choose the whole grain versions, your body gets the full package of nutrients. And here's something fascinating happening behind the scenes. Scientists around the world are studying how grains interact with our gut bacteria, how fiber shapes digestion and immunity, and how ancient grains might fit into modern diets more effectively than heavily processed ones. Some researchers are even exploring ways to grow grains more sustainably or develop varieties with higher nutrients or lower allergens. Grains aren't just food anymore, they're a subject of innovation. So when you compare wheat, rice, teff, oats, barley, quinoa, or millet side by side, it becomes clear that every grain has strengths, and not all grains behave equally in the body. Wheat gives you good nutrition when eaten whole. Brown rice is gentle and gluten-free. Teff is incredibly nutrient-dense. Quinoa is a powerhouse for protein. Oats and barley help your gut.
Bajra and jawar thrive in harsh Indian climates and provide steady energy. The trick isn't to crown a single best grain. The smarter approach is choosing grains that suit your body, your health goals, and the rich grain diversity India already has.
Small habits make a big difference here.
If you feel sluggish after Maida bread or white rice, swap one meal with bajra roti, ragi dosa, or brown rice.
If you want better energy, more fiber, or improved digestion, rotating grains can help more than you expect.
If you think gluten might be bothering you, it's worth paying attention and checking with a qualified doctor before removing it.
What you want to avoid is relying too heavily on refined grains, white bread, white rice, sugary cereals, and pastries. They don't offer much nutrition, and they don't keep you full the same way whole grains do.
And if gluten affects you, ignoring the signs only makes things harder, so always seek proper professional guidance.
A little awareness goes a long way. In the end, the journey through grains is really a journey through your own habits and how your body responds to them. Wheat and rice have fed the world for generations, and they still can be healthy choices when eaten in whole, unrefined forms. But grains like teff, quinoa, millet, and buckwheat show us that nutrition doesn't have to be limited to the same two staples we grew up with.
There's a whole world of grains to explore: ragi, jawar, quinoa, teff, each one offering something different.
And when you listen to your body and choose a mix of whole, nutrient-rich options, you get the best of everything: energy that lasts, digestion that feels lighter, and meals that nourish you far beyond tradition.
Video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider regarding any medical condition or treatment.